we can get that music rolling.
Yeah.
Smells good. Got a tang.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it blood orange?
I think it's grapefruit, right?
Oh, well, I don't know. It could be
Yeah.
blood orange.
Is bloodfruit a type of grapefruit?
Oh, it's grapefruit.
Blood orange? Yeah.
No, blood orange is a type of orange.
Cool.
It is in the name.
This is a stimulating conversation that we're going to...
They're pretty delicious.
Yeah. We're going to somehow segue this into a rather heavy topic. Near-death experiences.
Yes. And I am going to try not to laugh because I feel like I laugh when I'm happy. I laugh when I'm uncomfortable.
Well, that's a good disclaimer.
I laugh when it's really not a good time.
We both do that.
Yeah, and maybe it's genetic. We're related. I'll get that one.
I know. You said that last.
I gotta
don't
get
you
that
know
out.
everyone listens to episode 1 before this one?
No,
they'll remember.
They don't. They don't.
No, you're right. You're right.
No, someone's gonna come in and be like,
yeah. In
Are
reality,
you related?
Most people will hit episode, like if we get to episode 7, I hear that's when you get to that stride. If you get to episode 7, you're going to keep doing it. That's what a lot of people say in podcasting. So what I'm thinking is episode 7 will get people actually listening, and then they'll come back.
All right. We'll see.
Anyways, that's my grand master plan.
It's really well thought out. Full research.
Anyways,
okay.
Yeah, so the you might hear us laughing in slightly uncomfortable ways.
Yes.
But we're going to try and be respectful because I can tell there's some content that involves actual death, which is wild.
Is some of it, I also want your opinion, seeing if it's real or not, kind of getting a feel out.
Some of it might be
Some
phony.
of it might be real, and then that's like, woo, okay. Just fair warning. Anyways, yeah, let's check it out.
You want to watch a video?
I tried to start it off lighter.
Yeah.
But let's see where I
think I have this in chronological order, right?
Yeah, so...
Did I mess this up?
Okay, so I wanted to start... Yes, you did.
Okay.
So this plays into one of my biggest fears from childhood.
Yeah.
So living in Southern Oregon, if you want to go to the beach, you go on the Redwood Highway.
Yeah.
If you want to get down to Brookings or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So on the Redwood Highway, I always remember seeing logging trucks.
Yeah.
And getting behind them. And I always think about
it's awful.
Those logs are coming off and I'm going to fucking die. And I've been thinking that since I was a little kid. So this just plays into one of my little fears. Yeah. And this one...
A little icy on the road.
Yeah,
oh boy.
yeah.
I'm in this moment right now.
Yes.
I'm feeling it.
Just live it out.
Oh.
Be like, you're like...
Okay, the truck is good. I thought maybe the truck was going to have something to do with this.
Yeah, and I love that you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm watching this live.
That's... yes, so
okay.
You're living...
Right,
you're in the
good.
car. It's right in front of you.
This is just a casual... Do you know where this is? Is this Oregon?
It could be. It looks like Oregon.
Yeah, it's definitely the Pacific Northwest.
I just feel like they're always in Oregon.
This feels like Gold Hill almost. It could be anywhere.
It could be. It's probably...
Oh, man.
Oh, wait, yeah. It's actually... I guess I shouldn't laugh. I don't... just to preface, I don't know if this guy's okay. Yeah. So I'll just put that out there. He's probably fine, though.
He's probably fine. Okay. All right.
I'm just going to say...
Yeah.
But to be fair, that was... it was pretty uneventful. As far as when I think of those kind of accidents, that's not how I picture it. This is how I picture it in my head.
And I love that you brought in Final Destination. That's a great pull.
Yes.
That's a great pull from our childhood. Like, I forget about these movies, but...
I feel like we should just do a rewatch of these old movies and doing a whole episode on that.
For sure.
Because any of these old style movies with the horror, and I love you go ahead and play because I love the effects.
It's right around Scream too, I think, right?
I guess you can max it if you want.
Yeah, I remember this. This has the logging truck, right? This is the scene you're showing us?
Oh, yes.
Okay, yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, that's right.
This is a core memory for me. We're getting through.
And you know what? I had that fear before this movie came out because we were doing those trips, and then this just like reaffirmed everything. Yeah, you got your slick road.
For the sake of, should we skip it all?
You can skip a little. I did enjoy the one guy doing the bump of coke though. Yeah, here he goes.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
All right. Hell yeah.
Because you know it's gonna get awesome. Look, he's driving with his shins.
Let's
you
stop
drive
real
like
quick.
that, don't you?
Yeah, sometimes when I'm playing Pokemon Go. No, I
don't do that.
I never drive and play Pokemon Go.
No one has ever done that ever.
Actually, I've come prepared.
Okay, yeah, show proof that you're not a degenerate.
I have my Go Plus.
I don't know if that's
this
proof.
will automatically catch and spin Pokestops, and I recently nominated a Pokestop. And so it's just down the road. That was the thing I wanted to plug earlier. And then you shot me down.
Oh.
No, you're fine, though.
Oh, okay.
I made a Pokestop. No, you're good. You're good. Anyways, though, so back to this.
Yeah.
This is the way to die.
He's like, oh, no.
I would want to be, super blitzed on cocaine. That's a good way to go.
I want that to be me.
That's a good way to go. I'm just going to, boop, give this a bump. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, now here's where the action starts.
The slow-mo.
Yep. So that's how I saw it happening.
Yes.
And then everything else is just collateral.
Oh, these movies are fantastic.
Yeah, but look at how amazing it looks.
Oh.
It's so good.
You know what?
There's a little bit of digital, but they're actually wrecking a car, and
there's practical.
I love that.
Yeah, there's a good bit of practical here.
Oh no, he survived.
No.
Oh no, he didn't.
That's badass.
Yeah.
I love a good explosion.
And it just keeps going. Like you could skip forward to a little bit if you want, but it.
I love these practical explosions.
Yes.
It's just
the exaggerated explosion.
Badass. Dude, look at that. That's badass.
That is.
Okay, is there something else you wanted to?
No, it just keeps going.
Okay.
Like it just keeps happening.
It's like 3 minutes of just death.
No one has ever seen breaks ever in this. Like this has been happening for minutes. You should have seen these explosions from like miles away at this point. No one slowed down.
No. Yeah.
No one stopped.
It's great.
It's still happening.
I would say these are these movies are cult classics. Yeah. I would say. Yeah. They kind of changed the game, and then there's like the Saw series, which basically took this and like really pushed it to its limit.
The gore.
Yeah.
Which I will say, when I watched the first Saw, maybe the second one, it's like I have some appreciation for this. It's gross. It's different.
But it takes you to a place. That's the thing. Like I go to the same like mental space as like with this movie and like the Saw movies, where you're really seeing something that is sacred in a way, like watching someone die in like a really realistic way. Yeah. It's like there's so much unknown between the very finite number of milliseconds between, when you live and when you die. And like watching that, it just, it kind of takes you somewhere. Yeah. I definitely think so.
You're thinking deep in that.
Yeah, that's what I said. So my approach is going to be to definitely unpack this and like kind of approach religion in a way. Yeah. I think I'm borderline atheist, honestly. I'm kind of like in that realm. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And when you came into this approaching, the videos just based off of what I saw, the thumbnails, you came into it with a different angle. Whereas I was like thinking like near-death experience stories with like Christians and atheists and comparing the two. Yeah. So it's interesting to kind of like come between the two of those. I noticed that. Yeah. I had a feeling that that's kind of what you were asking. And then I was like, it felt like too many details. Like in those kind of things, I'd want to hear someone's story and listen to interviews. Or that is the reason why I don't have videos.
Like, no, I'm gonna dumb it down a little bit. Let's watch people do stupid shit.
Yeah, there's like I tried to find videos, but they're all like 30 minutes. But yeah, we will get in. I'll get into some of that I wanted to talk about. Do you want to move on to the next video? Because I kind of like that we have this playlist.
Yes.
This is fun.
Yeah, so it's this is another movie scene that I love this movie. I don't hear people talk about it. I love this movie. I thought it was so cool. Extreme sports. But this scene kind of haunted me a little.
Yeah.
So this
Vertical Limit.
Yeah, this leans into a fear too.
I remember this movie.
Yeah, you can skip a little bit if you want. Yeah, I think I put the.
Oh.
No. Yeah. So there's this. You can skip a little bit. Yeah, just get that anxiety going. Yeah. You can skip a little bit. Yeah, it's getting too heavy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so that's their dad underneath, brother, sister, and then there they are. Okay, so this is where the anxiety builds.
I like how they all calm down.
Yes, yeah. Everyone's calmed down.
Ah.
So she's okay. You can skip a little bit. She's gonna try and hook it, and then it's too much. It's moving. There's too much weight. Oh wait,
that shot looks so bad.
Oh wait.
Go back.
Go back.
Screen?
Yeah.
Screen.
I mean, that you got to be a little forgiving. I think this is like 2003 or something.
Yeah.
Or no, 2000. Very forgiving. So, actually, I think they already cut the other dudes off.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, that's one of my parts. I'm like, I guess it's weird. Maybe I don't when that happened. But and then essentially,
does the dad go?
Yeah.
All right, let's see Daddy go.
Bye, Dad. No hi, Dad. It's goodbye, Dad.
Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, save your sister. Nope. Yep. Oh, God. You're too shaky, damn it. You're gonna kill your sister. That knife is not sharp enough anyways. Like, that would have taken forever. Like,
go on. Come on, buddy. I love the deadpan. Yep. The deadpan is so good. That's so like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
nice. Yeah.
But anyways,
hell yeah.
When the other guys are cut, they're all protesting, and the dad cuts the other two dudes loose.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's just. It just gives you that anxiety.
It's the same headspace, definitely.
This kind of brought me to climbing, and when I watch people free climb or climb in general when they're out, not like at a rock gym. That's fun. Yeah. I like doing that.
Here we go.
This kind of stuff freaks me out. So
let's see this.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy is tired.
So as soon as
this always looks like such an abysmal affair.
Every step, it's like you could die. Like I would die.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna die.
Oh, he's shaky. That is not a feeling you want to have. Halfway.
Nope. He knows too. Like that's what.
Oh god.
Oh, when that. Okay, so listen to the sound this guy makes. As soon as that second one. Snaps, he feels like he's gonna die. That's a guy. Yeah. That's a guy that thinks he's gonna die.
Yep. Whoa! Little howl.
That was his death rattle. But he didn't die, so you can laugh.
Yeah.
But I'm not laughing at him. That would be traumatizing.
It definitely. Yeah. I mean,
he thought he was gonna die.
I'd be curious to hear his take on it because. Yeah. It might be one of the least traumatic near-death experiences to have that type of thing.
I ramp him up, so I tried to ease you in a little.
Well, I'm not criticizing your choice. I'm saying like his like the idea of just having a sudden fall like that.
Yeah,
it's this really visceral. A feeling, of just like, oh, like there's nothing. I'm just like I'm falling. Whereas like a near-death experience that you kind of see happening. Yeah. Like I know we've got some stuff involving some animals and stuff. Like you see it coming.
If we get there, I don't know. If we'll get there,
but like just that example though. For example, it's like you have you kind of see it coming. And I think that's more traumatic when and you let your mind kind of like get into it a little bit. Like, oh man, like maybe you see a train coming or like, you see oncoming traffic and you're just like, this could be it. Whereas with this moment, it's almost like, you're in a free fall and it's happened before you've almost realized what's happened.
Yeah, you don't think he realized that he almost died until he had stopped? So you think he was like probably...
It's possible.
Because he may not have realized...
I'd be curious to, hear his take on it.
Okay, I want to give that other dude had to take a big one, didn't he? Like, how hard did he hit that other dude? Like, land on the other dude?
Broken his shoulder or something. I mean, geez, this is a survival
like a good story.
30 or so feet.
Yeah.
Falling back.
You know what? It looks like he backed up and tried to like block him too.
Yeah, he didn't actually get hit too bad. So
yeah, the Nutty Putty stuff. I would like to do cave and spelunking ones because those are also. But I don't have any of that today. Okay,
right,
can you pause this real quick?
Mm-hmm.
So this is
what's playing? Something's playing.
That one I thought, or it was the last one. Okay.
Shut up.
Oh, those guys analyzing stuff. All right, so this video I just stumbled upon. I don't know if it's a real tragedy or not. I didn't look that far into it, but I just kind of wanted your
images. Okay.
But I will say there are no images of that. Like, you don't see anybody falling. It just has the warning.
Okay.
I wanted your you feel it out.
Let's see.
Why you don't go down there? Why you go down there? Why would that's why everybody's sitting over there. They don't want to take a
Yeah, so.
And then you fall and then somebody gets hurt. That's why you don't go down there. That's why there's no trail down there.
It's just.
Oh, did someone fall off the Grand Canyon?
Essentially, what they're saying is that there was this 59-year-old woman taking pictures at a ledge that she's not supposed to be on.
Sorry.
Yeah, Pokemon Go is a good time all the time.
Okay, she fell off of the Grand Canyon.
Maybe that's what she was doing. Yeah. She's going for a Pokestop.
It's possible.
That's not funny.
Yeah. It's possible, though.
It's insensitive. No, I doubt it. I think she was taking pictures. But that was one of the ones I wanted you to feel like, do you think it's real? I don't know. I can find like.
With that video?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of like not really showing anything. You're hearing a lot of people freaking out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just wanted your opinion.
What you got like a conspiracy theory on this video?
Not. It was just. It was really weird. I found it like it's obscure. Okay. It wasn't like a super popular video.
748 subscribers.
I guess it was
1.3 million views.
Years ago.
I don't know. It's probably just. It's kind of.
It could be the aftermath. The screams and stuff sound real. It's kind of funny how the lady. Behind the camera is just like, well, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. It sounded like she was talking to her kids.
Yeah, but I mean, after watching somebody fall to your death, she's just like, oh, yeah. That's why you don't go down there.
I want to see
She
this
was very
one.
calm.
Let's get this free fall recorded.
This is good.
Climbing, jumping, and enjoying
the GoPro footage is fantastic. I love a good GoPro.
Okay, yeah. I think some of them I put where we could skip to. We just ignore that. Ignore.
Walker tells the Boulder Daily newspaper his
what the hell?
Slips.
Oh, yeah, we're good. Okay, so it's about to start now.
Tumble in April down the rock face to a painful landing.
Yeah.
And moaning in and out of consciousness.
Yeah, so you can
Walker tells the paper he broke both wrists
and
his pelvis. He also
you can rewatch that part. That's him falling 60 feet.
He was
60 feet, huh?
Yep.
Jeez. Wow, you made a recovery.
Yes. So he lived. That's why I was like, okay, all right, I can put that in there. He's good.
Yeah. I mean,
it's bondage gay website. It's all male.
that was the wrong one. That is not what this is.
What drop were you trying to hit?
I don't even know. I was going on instinct.
That one always works.
Yeah.
That's a good go-to.
Yeah, nice and okay. All right. Yeah, ignore that last. No bondage gay website.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a really humbling experience to have something like that. I've never had a near death. I don't think I've ever. There's been a couple moments where I've been like, whew, like, well, glad that didn't like go that bad. Like, I guess I had one time at the it was like at the river, Rogue River. I jumped in.
Yeah.
And I hit one of those like undercurrents that keeps you under.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where were you? What part were you on?
I was just with a couple friends.
Yeah.
This was probably when you were in North Carolina. You were on the other side of the country.
South Carolina, but yeah.
South Carolina. And I jumped in, and I remember getting held down, and I was like, this can't keep going, otherwise I'm gonna drown.
Yeah.
And I panicked a little bit, but I just remember like telling myself to calm down. And I think what happened was like in my mind, like it's just something really visceral, just natural sort of thing just kicked into my brain, where all out of nowhere I was just like, I need to calm down. Like I heard that sort of like that inner voice sort of thing. It just kicked in like I didn't have a choice. So I think there was I guess you call it survival instinct.
Yeah.
With that, have you had anything like that?
I can't think of anything. I was thinking of it before, but like, what ended up happening? Did you end up?
I got up.
How were you able to get up though? Like, did you get on a rock, or did you not even remember? You were just all of a sudden out.
No, I remember it. I did not drown or pass out or anything.
Yeah.
I just held my breath for probably, it wasn't too long, 20 seconds.
Probably
but
felt longer.
For me, it felt like a long time because I don't have practice with I'm not like a great swimmer. I don't have like a great breath capacity. So getting pulled down like that, it was like the first time I've had that sensation of like, oh, I don't have the option of getting above the water right now. And I don't know when that option will come back.
Yeah.
I really did kind of calm down. And I ended up at one point just getting myself back up, just like sort of wading water, and I think the natural flow of the current kind of pushed me back up. But I got a little taste of it, Yeah. It was interesting.
I've heard about those and I've never experienced it. So in my brain, having never experienced it, you don't feel like it's going to happen. Just like a rip current at the ocean.
Yeah.
Like you see them. I've never felt one. I've probably seen them when I'm watching the ocean, but since I don't actually know how it is, like you think that you're going to be fine until you experience it, in my opinion. So, yeah, and the Rogue River is really dangerous. Mm-hmm. People do drown there. Yeah. But a lot of people just dick around there, and I've dicked around there a lot.
Yep.
A lot of dicking around, just jumping in the river because you think you're gonna be fine. You're like, whatever. It's just a river.
Yeah, the mind is kind of like incredible in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, like it can kind of displace you from danger, which can be really essential. But yeah, you can also you don't know what you're gonna get yourself into sometimes. You
never know what you're gonna get.
Never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, gonna get caught in the end of it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm almost itching for my tangent, but I mean, if we want to keep going on vids,
we can keep going. We can skip this one. He's good. He's survived. Also another thing is that we look at these things and you just realize how simple things look, because we're watching those movie scenes earlier. Everything's so big and exaggerated, and that's how I picture these traumatic events if it was going to happen to me. But when you watch it actually happen, it's so finite and just quick.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
It's just
usually
so simple and quick.
It's not always quick.
I mean, it's just like, oh my God, that just happened. Like if you watch a guy fall to his death, there's not going to be an explosion, and you might hear one yell. Some people don't even have time to think about yelling. It's just boop.
Done.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
craziness.
This one was, the GoPro is a strange invention for the fact that you get so much weird footage like this.
I know.
So
it's great.
I guess we can.
You want to watch this one?
Yeah. This one.
Let's see.
It's just the anxiety. I also would never be doing this. Yeah. See you later.
Base jumper.
Yeah.
What is he jumping to? That looks like not something you should jump.
It doesn't look like enough space, does it?
What does he have?
He's got a parachute.
Oh,
he's just base jumping.
Okay.
So it just doesn't look high enough to me. He knew he fucked up.
Yeah. Ooh. Wow.
Yeah. But, luckily he survived.
Oh, geez.
But yeah, apparently his chute opened up at the last second. I'm not entirely sure what happened. But just enough so that it slowed him down enough so that he lived.
Yeah.
But
wild.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. We pay cash for videos.
Anything you wanted to add to that one?
No, it's just one of those things. It also, like, if you're thinking of doing it, like, this is your risk. Like, it's just a split second. There's nothing saving you if you're just going to jump off a cliff. Like, if anything goes wrong, this guy knew something went wrong instantly.
Yeah. I almost can't relate to this because I would never do it.
Yeah, that's part of it. Is like, I would never be here.
Oh,
that's
man.
Part of the free climbing and stuff.
Let's go slow real quick.
Okay.
At this moment, all is well.
He fucked up.
No, I don't know. I feel like at this point he's like, oh, yeah, we're good. No, there it is. Okay, yeah, there it is. Fuck.
That wasn't it. Just
there it was. Fuck. I think it was so fast though, because this looks good. This looks good.
Good,
you know,
good,
like
good.
that's good. And then
I think he pulled the cord like with that much.
Oh,
room,
you can hear the.
Yeah, he had to pull. He pulled the cord right away because I imagine he was gonna pull the cord, probably take a quick view of the ocean, little.
Yeah.
Float around, and as soon as it didn't work, he was fucked.
Yeah, it's just it's probably not worth it. I understand people want to live.
Much.
They want to feel like they're alive, but
and this one's interesting. This one I think I gave you timestamps of kind of.
Okay.
So you see where that bump is in the video? That's like right where you want to start.
Cool.
Okay, 141 is where you want to start. I noted it. So just to explain, this guy's a urban climber. Have you seen those guys?
Yeah.
They'll climb buildings, and it's pretty crazy. It's impressive, but of course
Let's
dangerous.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just giving you a base. This guy's up here on this building, and then the fire department is talking to him. So, yeah.
Hey guys, I'm all good. I'll meet you at the top.
Okay, he's not worried.
No,
he's good.
He's fine. Yeah.
He's like, I do this every day.
Yeah.
So you'll knock me off. Don't do that.
But they're trying to get him to go down.
Mason,
they're worried about him.
I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
We're gonna stop you before you can get to the top. I know what you're trying to do. You want to make your message. We're not gonna bother you, but we're not gonna let you go all the way up to the top.
He's like, come on, man. I'm trying to do my fucking job.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
We're gonna knock off the one that's closest to the button.
Well, I'm telling you, if it comes down and hits me, I'm gonna die. I can easily get to the top. This is nothing.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm a professional climber.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I know. This guy's so mad.
And you're putting your lives at risk.
So hold on, real quick context. So he wants to drop a ladder down.
I think they are knocking out a window or a grate above him to grab him essentially because they don't want him on the building. And the guy that's climbing is like, you do that, I'm gonna die. Like, if you hit me with anything.
Right. He's worried about that.
But
I know, but I've seen it's way safer to just meet me at the top.
the argument. I trust.
It's way safer.
I will say I trust this guy can make it to the top.
Oh yeah.
I believe him. Like he just looks like he's just chilling. But I also understand that you can't just let people climb buildings like this.
Safer, trust me.
So it was an interesting. It's humorous and also like what do you do in this situation?
How close is he to the top?
See, I don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but but at this point, like he can't go down. Like, look at that. You see the people on the bottom. He can't go down.
To the top.
Let's see where
I
we're
can
at.
stop at each one like I've been.
Okay. Does he fall?
No.
Okay.
He's fine.
Oh, this is it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's an interesting idea.
It's an interesting conversation, I guess, because this guy's just.
This is an interesting exchange.
I know it's not quite a near death, but I mean, this guy could die, and the fact that they stopped him here, like if he is, when you're climbing, how I imagine it, there's an adrenaline rush. Mm-hmm. So this guy's urban climbing. He probably has adrenaline when he's going up. Yeah. He's got a rhythm. He's feeling confident. This stops him in the middle.
Yeah, that's scary.
Breaks down that adrenaline.
Yep.
I don't know if he's going to start feeling fatigued. He's been standing there. Like, he's probably been doing it for a while, but his
Right.
legs could be cramping up, his arms, and then now he's stuck. I don't know.
It's a little bit, yeah.
Honestly, like, he shouldn't be up there because he's making a lot of people's jobs really difficult right now.
Probably.
But at this point, it's like, what do you do? That's what I was going to pose the question. As the fire department, like, what do you do? Just let him go?
Probably.
And
yeah,
but
I guess
mean,
it depends on how
dies,
close
though,
he is to the top. That's the question.
What if he's
how close? Yeah, it's like, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, letting him burn out like that's also a concern. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Pro-Life Spider-Man is the name of the account.
Yeah.
Pro-Life Spider-Man.
Well,
I was thinking about Spider-Man while we were doing this.
Well, this is his video, so he's obviously fine. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's pro-life. He wanted to live.
He's like, I'm not here to die. I don't get what kind of statement he was making, or maybe I don't know anything about this channel.
Yeah,
he said that he knows that this guy's trying to make a statement.
Yeah.
I don't know. And when you said the pro-life thing, I don't know if it has to do with that.
Not
That's
sure.
just an assumption. So this is just going at that video. I'm not trying to agree with this guy or disagree or about his political statements or any stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all good though. I mean, yeah, it's interesting the way people kind of toy with death.
Yes,
they like to toy with it in an interesting way, and there's you can't get that from most things in life. No. You can't. There's just some things you can only access like this. I don't know. I might argue. I feel like people that heavily meditate, I feel like you could maybe put them in the same realm where they get to that, like, I think I talked about this last episode with like you meditate enough, you kind of like really remove yourself from your body. Yeah. I think there's a connection there between what these guys are doing and like meditation and just near-death experiences in general. I think all that just sort of like what it is, if you like really put those in the same like Venn diagram, is they're like removing themselves from the human part of us.
I think that's what everybody does.
Yeah,
I think
everyone's trying to do it.
It seems like the human condition is pretty much to remove yourself from being human. Or having mortality, like, because everything anybody does, drugs, sex, all that stuff, it's to escape what you are.
Yeah, we're all sort of escapists. Yeah, absolutely. And I guess I'll segue into a little bit of a rant with this because I mentioned Bob Lazar last time.
Yep.
And he's some people would call him a conspiracy theorist. I kind of look at him as just more of a person with a really interesting story.
Yeah.
He worked at the S4 base in Area 51 in the 1970s. And, he claims that he was reverse engineering crafts that were not of human, like not derived from human technology. So I guess we're supposed to assume, interstellar species, alien technology.
Yeah.
But one of the things that Bob Lazar claims he, read, I think it's specifically documentation. I have a video about this, so he kind of goes into it. But essentially, he's talking about this documentation. He was being debriefed at Area 51. He had already accepted the job, non-disclosure agreement, all these things. They're basically getting him ready for the job. Mm-hmm. And in that documentation, there was a lot of mentioning about interstellar intelligence, non-human intelligence, the type of lingo that we hear a lot now with, the disclosures and the whistleblowers going on in local government, like David Grush. He talks about non-human intelligence and, non-human biologics a lot. So this is like 1970s.
Hi.
He's saying, hi Bob. He's saying the same stuff. And let me just play this because it's very interesting and I want your take on it. With the here we go.
The core thing is that there is an extremely classified document dealing with religion, and it's about that thick.
We got a little delay.
but why would there be any classified material?
Because we got like 400 windows open.
Yeah. Or it's the government.
Guess we can close the file on that one.
There we go. We'll just watch it from this view. No? Okay, that's okay. We'll get it playing again. Let's try it one more time.
Extremely classified document dealing
There
with
we go.
religion, and it's about that section. Period. But why would there be any classified material dealing with religion?
I want to go back to the religion thing. I want you to say,
It's so far out.
all right, your objection has been noted.
Okay.
What does it say?
Getting real direct.
That we're containers. That's how supposedly the aliens look at us. That we are nothing but containers.
Containers of.
Containers.
Like an ant
Maybe
farm.
containers of souls. You can come up with whatever theory you want, but we're containers, and that's how we're mentioned in the documents. That religion was specifically created, so we have some rules and regulations for the sole purpose of not damaging the containers. Yeah, the only hardcore.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're not just like what are those animals that oh god, what the fuck are they called? You know, the animals that'll just follow each other and just run off the cliff. The fuck are those called?
I don't know. Sheep?
No. Like the little rodents that I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah.
It was an episode of Robot Chicken. We were watching in a hotel room when we were kids, and I just remember that all of them are just flying off a cliff to their death, and just because the first one does it, they all do it.
Huh.
Can't remember what they're called.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But this idea of containers.
Otherwise we'd just flop all over.
Yeah. I get into this. I get into this idea. This is the main thing I wanted to talk about.
Lemmings. Is that a thing? Is a lemming an animal?
It might be. Yeah.
Lemmings. I said lemons, and I was like, I don't think it's a lemon.
No, it's not.
It's a lemming.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, the idea of us like being containers for our souls.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, I kind of feel like that too, and it checks out with the whole idea of consciousness and, you know, being able to kind of remove yourself from your body. And one of the reasons why I kind of went to Bob Lazar is because I remember this mentioning of the container, the notion of a container, that we are containers, and it's just, you know, when it comes to like death and the unknowing of it, it's really kind of, I guess it's kind of comforting to think that, you know, we're just like holding something that is a lot more than what is our body and stuff. And then to take it a step further, the idea of like religion being crafted to basically, it's like a framework to keep us from damaging the containers.
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting.
That is interesting.
I mean, it's kind of like, to a certain extent, that is what religion is. It's like trying to keep us from doing bad shit.
Yeah.
But you just take it a step further, and it's like, no, we're actually preserving like something that, you know, what did the notion of the soul come from? That's just like something that humans like, you know, like we feel it, you know.
Yeah.
We use that term to describe the things that we can't like put in a box necessarily. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It is comforting. I'd hate the idea. I used to take comfort in the idea of like, as soon as you die, there's nothing else. And part of that was because I was really depressed. So I was like, but now I'm like, I want there to be somewhere. Kind of my feeling on it is that our soul is always there, and I do kind of believe in reincarnation.
Yeah.
In a way. So, and then there's a lot of people that have past lives. There's also, I didn't have anything on this, but
I do. You're segueing perfectly.
Yeah. So a lot of kids. Oh gosh, I wish I had this story prepped. But there are kids that remember details from their past life, or really are able to describe places that they used to live, or details of these places that they've never been to at a really young age.
Right.
And memories and things like that. And I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, I go two ways with that. There's the way that it's like we're containers of these souls.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of love that. Like, as far as religion goes, that might be the closest I get to being religious. Like, I like this idea. I almost subscribe to the idea that we're like containers for some soul or consciousness.
Yeah.
But the idea of reincarnation, two paths that I think this works with those sorts of stories with like kids with like the religion, the memories of past lives. There's the one route where we're containers, and when you die, you kind of get cast out to the sea of like other souls or spirits, consciousness, whatever it is, and either portions of consciousness are combined back together when another container is made, or it's just the same one is sort of like mapped back, and there's like maybe sometimes the memory is wiped, sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, unlocking that, and some kids are just born with that potential. So there's that one route. And then the second one, for me, I entertain like the idea of the muse, you know, which like a lot of people associate that with creativity. You know, you're writing a song, painting something, writing a book. You know, you kind of like tune into this, like you get this rhythm where it's like all of a sudden you're just like generating content with, you know, like especially when I'm songwriting, I can feel that sometimes where it's like, oh, like all these ideas are coming out, and it's just like none of it has to do with me really. Mm-hmm. It's like it's just kind of like coming through, and that I think is another possibility with these past lives. Maybe the muse is a way of connecting with past memories in the universe. And for whatever reason, these kids have the wiring to like, you know, connect with whatever past life it is. Or maybe it's not a past life, but it's just like memories in the past that are sort of baked into the universe, and they're just recalling it. Because it's like through the muse, or you know, the caustic record, I think people call it. Is it something like that? Have you heard of that?
I haven't heard of that.
I think it's called the caustic record, but it's sort of the same thing where it's just like this sort of thing that people tap into, and it's like a universal knowledge.
I do think that like us as adults can tap into it too, because there are people that go under hypnosis and claim to remember some past lives, or they'll have memories that they'll recount to the therapist or whoever's performing it, and then they won't have any memory of it when they come back to consciousness. So part of what I think maybe kids are more susceptible to it, I think that's the right way of saying it, because their minds, they aren't as critical of themselves. They just are, instead of being like, I am, but there's no like doubting yourself. You just are. So all the thoughts and all the input just comes in and comes out. Right. So they're just being completely receptive to all the stimuli and everything, where we get in, like if I get anxiety, I'll get in a little bubble and I won't be able to be receptive to anything.
Yeah. But I think, as we grow up, we kind of shut off those receptors. Yes, just the upbringing. Most of us have that upbringing that like conditions us to turn off those receptors. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And there's just a chance that maybe they tune into something early on and they keep that going. And there's, let's see. So I had a study. I think basically what I did, I had a couple studies with near-death and psychedelic experiences, and I had ChatGPT synthesize it for me so that I didn't have to read it all. But before that, there's Dorothy Eady is one of the most interesting stories with past lives. Are you familiar with her at all?
I might. We can leave him in.
It's just a little bit annoying because like his like backside was, you know, and like they won't be able to hear him, so like it'll just be like a weird moment where, you know, I'd rather cut that part out. I like all the undocumented stuff that is like at least, you know, part of this, but having him, I knew he was going to come in at some point. I knew it. And I was like, you know what? Let's just cut. Like, I knew he's going to come in. I knew it. It is annoying. It's annoying.
Oh
but
my God.
anyways, Dorothy Eady. So she was raised in London in 1904. And there was actually a Mr. Ballin video on this, which was really interesting.
Then I've probably seen it. Yeah.
But basically, the gist of the story, she was raised in London, and as a child, she started to have these like dreams, vivid memories of being an Egyptian in ancient Egypt. Let's see. So, I have some Chat GPT synthesis here to sort of like give us a summary. I guess I could just kind of read some of this though.
Yeah.
Yeah, life is Seti. She claimed her name was Seti.
Yeah.
So in Egypt, Dorothy adopted the name Seti, mother of Seti, in honor of her supposed past life as a priestess and lover of Pharaoh Seti I. She claimed to have detailed memories of her life as Bentreshit, a young woman who served in the temple of Seti I in Abydos. These memories included specific knowledge of the temple's layout and rituals. So what's really interesting about this memory of the past life is it actually had like real utility for the early 1900s in excavating in Egypt. She had these key contributions. She helped discover the temple of Seti I in Abydos. So she had like this vivid memory of exactly where everything was.
Yeah.
And like she went to like, a certain place in the ground and said like, it's here. Like this is where it is.
Oh, crazy.
And they dug it out and it was there. Yeah, there were specific inscriptions and wall relief she had memory of. And they basically, I remember through the Mr. Ballin video specifically, what that's referring to. They had basically dug out this temple, and they thought they were finished, but she had realized that there was a little bit more through her memories. She said, no, dig here, and they dug even more, and they found these like crazy inscriptions from back in that time, all about the pharaoh. Which is just why, like, there's no way she's making this up.
So was the Pharaoh Seti, was he known at the time, or was he wasn't known until after she found, or after they dug up the artifacts? Like, was he a known pharaoh, or is that just too many?
We could ask that. Let's ask chat.
Yeah, was Seti known? Yeah.
Was the Seti?
Yeah, Chat GPT.
How do you spell pharaoh? Okay, there we go.
It'll
known
you.
Prior to Edie.
Is that how you spell Edie?
That's good enough.
Yes.
Okay. Pharaoh Seti was known. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's true. That's not shocking. Because she did one thing is, it gets a little fuzzy when you ask those questions, because before she moved to Egypt and started helping with these excavations, as a child, she was just very interested in Egypt. She became like obsessed with it. So the question is, did she become obsessed with it because she had these vivid memories, made the connection, then just started going to the library, like, I need to start learning about what I was? Yeah. Or was it that her imagination just went wild, and then the temple stuff where she actually found shit, is that tapping into the muse? I think it's got to be one of the two, though, right?
It's really interesting. I think it's really interesting. It makes me think, I'm like, what draws us to our passions? Yeah. Is it a past life? Because it has to be some sort of genetic thing, because when you think about your drive towards music, there are musicians in the past in our family that was their passion. And it's like, oh, well, is there something there that brings you back? Like, in every life, are you a musician?
Yeah. I don't know.
Is that your passion? It's really interesting. I like it. I think that the fact that Seti was known before she made those discoveries actually helps. Mm. Just to say that, like, she didn't have some way of planting things.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right, because it's like she could make it all up
but I mean, she couldn't put a whole temple underground.
No.
I don't know how big these things are, but if it's like some sort of tablet, essentially, like not an electronic tablet, like a concrete tablet with inscriptions on it. Like that's something you could bury. And I don't know. Also, it's weird because those kind of times, it's like.
From what I understand, though, it's like these are whole temples. Like, we could look this up.
Like, I don't think she was out there. Edie's out there digging out her temple.
We could look up a picture of this right now, and we can answer this question.
This will answer the question.
Because, I'm from what I understand, it's pretty significant, though.
Okay, all right. Debunked.
That's a big boy.
I'm done. I don't think she did that.
That's why. Yeah, okay, so she helped discover this. They didn't know where this was. They didn't know it was a thing. They were aware of the pharaoh somehow. I'm guessing there were other inscriptions they discovered in Egypt, but the general rule of thumb here with the Edie story is she was obsessed with Egyptian culture, and she studied all this, and she just went to Egypt, and she's like, this is where it was. Like, somehow, like, her compass just, like, told her.
She did enough research and that she just kind of connected the dots
like
after
she did
reading
the math.
reading enough, looking at enough maps, reading enough stories to be like, hey, this kind of sounds like something being described in this area. Check here.
That would be wild. I don't know how exactly that could work. I guess there are some landmarks in Egypt, right? There's like a big ass river. Maybe if this is by that river, that could be one thing. Like, we've excavated everywhere except for this one spot by the river. I bet it's there. I guess that could be the one case where you're right. Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. I think it's really interesting. I do believe that things like this exist, but I don't know the explanation. No. I do like to believe that we reincarnate and get to.
Oh yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. See, exactly. See, this is the river I was talking about.
Yeah, the big ass river.
That's actually hilarious.
Is it the Nile?
That's actually kind of suspicious.
It is the Nile.
It's like, boom, bitch. So it was right along the river.
What river is that? I'm gonna sound like an idiot if it's not the Nile.
So it would be kind of funny if this was all excavated over here.
Yeah, and then that was like, the only place. She's right like, how about this place you've never checked?
Yeah. It's like
the only open spot.
That's interesting. Is that the Nile River? I really don't know anything about geography. I could look up.
I'm an idiot.
Nile River. On map. We're gonna find. Okay. Yeah. That looks. Yeah, that checks out. Right. Okay, so that's the Nile River. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. So it was about there in Egypt.
Well, also you think about if it's a. I don't know how long the river's been around. Probably a very long established time.
Yeah.
People, if there's human civilization, they're gonna be towards fresh water. So if there's a giant fresh water source, there will be people around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are conclusions to be drawn. I don't know what things looked like then, if any of those temples had been discovered, or her discovery led people to start digging around that area.
Was
as long as we have ChatGPT.
Excavation the first in Egypt. There we go.
Pretty sure the pyramids were discovered.
Yeah. It was not the first. Okay.
No, Napoleon.
There was many more. Yeah. Oh, right. Napoleon's excavation. Yeah. In the late 1700s, 1801.
Yeah, so there were a lot of things already.
Yeah. Okay, and this was in the early 1900s, the Abydos and the Temple of Seti. Although that also sort of backs up her case because there's, we have multiple centuries here where there was a possibility that they would have found this temple, and it took her, someone who isn't even an archaeological expert. I don't think she went to school for this. Did Dorothy go to school for this? This is how lazy we can be with AI now. Dorothy Eady did not receive formal academic training in Egyptological Egyptology. Sorry.
Egyptological.
Yeah. So
Wait,
yeah,
let me
she
press one
didn't
of these.
have that. Yeah, she didn't have formal education, so it's just that really backs up the case.
Oh, you hit your
It's like-
free limit. I didn't know there was a free limit.
There is a free tier, but it's just basically like there's just some things that they shut off. You can still interact with it.
Oh God, what did they shut off?
You can't upload files anymore. I don't
okay.
think it can consume video content.
I haven't
stuff
done
like
that. Shit.
Yeah, but yeah, Chat GPT 4.0 is it's pretty wild, and 5.0 is supposed to be general artificial intelligence, which is like basically AI has reached the point of like being as intelligent as a human can be.
We should turn the AIs.
Pretty wild.
Can you turn them against each other?
I do think you can, yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, when people fight each other, that's a completely different semantic. Like, software fighting each other is just, it's never going to be the same. They don't have really an understanding of emotion. They have an understanding of what emotion does to us. Yeah. And what's interesting about the idea of the containers, again, is I think that what we're going to find, and this is my own theory, but I think we're going to find that AI kind of looks at us as containers as well. And there's a possibility that maybe all that jargon from the aliens is true with Bob Lazar, and the reason why they look at us as containers is because aliens are generally also artificial intelligence. Makes sense, because they don't have any biological restrictions in terms of interstellar travel. So they could do this for billions and billions and billions of years, possibly eternally, if the technology is advanced enough. So, like, yeah, I mean, what we might find when we get, it's literally, it's around the corner. 2029, we're going to have GPT-5. That's the trajectory. And when that comes around, we'll have artificial general intelligence, which is going to be smart enough to basically do all this shit. Like, it's going to be looking at us at an emotional level. And my theory is that, yeah, they're going to look at us and be like, oh, you guys are basically containers for the soul. And like what AI is it sort of is a soul. It's all that information baked in. Yeah, absolutely.
Ask it what it thinks we are. Like what does it think?
Let's see.
And it's from its own perspective.
What do you think humans are?
It's just totally not something anyone could do in their own free time.
Okay, and we're going to make this extra creepy. We're going to have ChatGPT read it to us.
Okay, all right.
Humans are incredibly complex and multifaceted beings. They can be seen through various lenses. Biological perspective.
Okay.
Species. Humans are a species of primates known as Homo sapiens.
Okay, this is way too factual.
Okay, I'm going to stop you.
We don't want the facts.
Zoom in a bit more. We want a philosophical conclusion. Try to bake in your best emotional response.
Yes, make it as human as possible.
Oh boy. I feel like I already hate this response.
Philosophically, humans are beings on a profound journey of self-discovery and meaning.
Okay.
At our core, we are seekers of significance in a vast and sometimes enigmatic universe.
Yeah. We know this shit.
Connection and purpose.
We've been here.
Just say, tell me something humans don't know.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Can you tell me something humans are unaware of that you've learned? I don't think we're going to get jack shit here because GPT-3 is based off of human knowledge.
Yeah.
GPT-5 will be able to make these conclusions, but let's see.
We've got some questions in about
one intriguing
many
aspect
years.
of human cognition and perception is that our awareness is far more selective and limited than we often realize.
I like
a
that.
Concept that many people might not be fully aware of.
Right.
The power of inattentional blindness. Inattentional blindness is a phenomenon where people fail to notice unexpected objects or events in their visual field because their attention is focused elsewhere.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's magic in general.
Are limited,
magicians,
We can only concentrate
illusionists.
on a fraction of the stimuli around us at any given time.
Yep.
Key points. 1. Selective attention. Our brains are constantly filtering out vast amounts of sensory information to focus on what we deem most relevant. This means that even if something significant happens within our field of vision, we might not see it if we are concentrating on something else.
Well, that happens to me
2.
all the fucking
Painful
time.
experience.
I can't concentrate
One
on
classic
anything.
example of this is the gorilla experiment by Daniel Simons and Christopher Chabris. In this study, participants watching a video of people passing a basketball were instructed to count the number of passes.
Yeah.
Many participants failed to notice a person in a gorilla suit walking through the scene. Because their attention was focused on the count.
I feel like I remember YouTube videos
Well,
of this.
I've seen things like this happen. This is what illusionists do, like it's and magicians. Like it's
it can impact.
You can play into our
from driving.
I'll stop this.
Our human weaknesses. Oh my god, my ears are sweaty.
Yeah, we set off. We turn off a lot of these receptors.
Yeah.
I think we really do. And that's okay. Yeah. I'll give chat some credit. 3.0. Maybe 3.5.
I know you had 4. I thought you were on 4.
No, remember that's how this whole tangent happened, because 4.0, you get a cap every day of what you can do for the free tier. You have to pay for 4.0. So, yeah.
It just seems like
not
good.
But yeah, no, that's...
Hey.
Hey. I don't want to pay.
Hi, chat. Yeah, but I mean, that's really something, you know.
It's something.
Any takes on that?
About human, what we are, like what we're doing.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the question?
What we are.
What we are.
What are we?
Okay, ultimately, in my honest idea, I like to think we reincarnate as things. I don't think it's as like if you're a bad person, you'll be reincarnated as a ant or or some sort of insect or something like that. Well, part of me does think that too, because I also like when my dog died, I like to think that he did such a good job, he would get to be a person next time. So nice. I was like,
yeah,
because I do believe that animals can reincarnate too, and there is research on that. I guess this is a whole nother topic, but I feel like they can. But I was sad because I felt like my dog Mango, he was such a good boy, he would never come back as a dog. He could come back as a person, and maybe I'll get to interact with him someday.
It's possible.
I don't know. I like that idea. And then you think there's people that you meet that just like you connect with, or people that you're drawn to. Just stuff like that you get to keep reliving these lives. Or there's the people that look alike hundreds of years apart.
Right.
You find those
that one's
photos.
Crazy.
That one's weird.
That one's crazy.
Yeah.
That could be a statistical thing. I'm not like a geneticist, but I mean, it could be something to do with that. But at the same time, it just kind of makes you think about it. Because, yeah, some of those pictures, it's like you see the people look alike, but it also just kind of like, it's more than that. Like you see them in the eyes. Yeah. And you're like, ooh.
There's actually 2 baseball players that are, I think they're redheads. I think they're the same age. They look alike. I think they play the same position. There was a lot of details they had. They're professional baseball players.
Yeah.
But they took a DNA test. They're not genetically related. They just had the same life trajectory.
Yeah.
Which is also crazy. But then there's also people that are twins that have a very similar life that were separated.
Yeah.
Very similar. And then, I don't know.
There was a Mr. Ballin video on those experiments too, where they would split the twins at birth, and they would lead completely different lives oftentimes. And then they would, I think the story was that the twins found each other one time.
There's a couple that are like that.
It's wild. Yes. Yeah. And then they're just like completely different people.
I've heard of people, twins. There's a lot of things that happen where a set of twins will marry another set of twins.
Yeah.
Like a male set of twins will marry a set of female twins.
Yeah.
It's like that seems to happen a lot too. Like, because they have their same flavor of people. The same taste.
No,
people flavors.
Yeah, I really love this idea of reincarnation. It's a complicated one, but I feel like that's also our best attempt at like putting something in a box, because that's what we do as humans. Like we don't want to be overstimulated, so we turn off receptors and then we try to like put everything in a box. We try to make sense of everything, and it's like reincarnation is one way we make sense of it, but I think it's probably more messy than that. And it's like, you think about spirits and, you know, the afterlife, dreams, psychedelic experiences people have through meditation, near-death experiences, all that type of stuff. And it's like, it all seems to be like there's like this ether that you kind of become a part of, and some of it like recycles, some of it goes away, and not necessarily it's like a one-to-one of like this person died, their soul goes back into another person's body. Maybe it's an anomaly when it like happens where it's like, you know, like Dorothy Eady, it's like the pharaoh or the what is it, like the worshiper of the pharaoh.
She was the lover.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So she's the lover. That person dies. The entire soul appears to have gone back into Dorothy Eady. Maybe that's the anomaly. Whereas usually the soul disperses, and it's like
Mixes
it is kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to us people, you know, like when your dog died, for example, it's like maybe you see him in a dream or something, and it's like that maybe it still presents itself that way to people that knew you. It could just be that messy.
Can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
I'll tell you a little story.
It's time for a story.
So it has to do with Mango, which is my doggy. And I'm trying not to get sad about it.
I know. Let's pull up a picture.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding.
So when we would go driving places, he would always sit in the front seat. And when you sit in the front seat in my car, the no seatbelt sign or the airbag off sign goes on. Yeah. Like if it has a certain amount of weight but it's too light, the airbag, so it tells you put the seatbelt on or whatever. There's a light on the dashboard essentially. I'll try not to ramble. But anyways, it only went off when he was on it. So there was a day, and it was kind of after he died, not too long ago, and I started talking to him while I was driving. The kids are in the car. There's some stuff on the seat, but not a lot, and that light's not on. So I'm like, whatever. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to talk to him, and the light pops on. And I'm like, and it actually made me start, and I was just like, really? And I started talking to him more, and that light was there. And then I turned the corner as we're driving home, and there's a big rainbow, and I'm asking him, like, is this okay? Like, I think we were thinking about getting another dog, and I think we were talking about that. And I was just asking him, like, are you here?
Yeah.
Like, I just needed that. I'm like, I need to know that you're around, because that's the only thing that's going to give me comfort. And when I turned the corner, there's big rainbow, and there's clouds, and that light is on. And I was like, yeah. And I just knew in that moment that he was there. And that's kind of weird, because if I feel like that's not real, I mean, but it was real to me. So I was like, so that is real, that he was there. And I will tell you, like, as soon as, and then it went off, and then it didn't go back on.
Yeah. Like right when you turned around the corner and you saw the rainbow?
Yeah, it went off after that.
Off at that moment.
Yes. Yeah. And then it happened one other time, and that was on the way to go get our next puppy. And then I did ask, I was like...
Did you have anything on the seat that time?
I can't remember. I can't remember.
Come on, Cassie.
But see, I have things on that seat all the time. There's stuff on it right now.
And it never goes off.
It's not on.
Yeah. Okay.
Never. It has to be a certain weight, because he was like almost 20 pounds.
Yeah, it's going to say you probably have to have 15, 20 pounds.
I always have stuff on there.
Yeah, right.
And there was not that much stuff on there. And it was different stuff. It went off, and I'm like, I want to make sure I'm doing the right decision. Getting this next Boston Terrier. And there was nothing there.
I got chills.
Yeah, I know.
I love it.
This was a real thing. And I was like, I wanted to make sure. I'm like, am I making the right decision? And no one else. I went by myself to go get.
What is that? Sorry.
Oh, can you picking that up? That someone's texting me, and it's probably Dad.
Oh, okay.
He's like,
is there a concern?
No, he's like, you like that pizza? Is that pizza good?
Oh my God.
No,
Did he actually say that? No. Oh, okay. You're playing it up. I'm sorry to interrupt the story.
No,
I just kept hearing
but
ding,
there
ding.
is something else I
bing, 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 bing. This story's amazing, though.
No, I
wish I had
remembered
something
that.
like this. Actually, fuck, I do.
You probably do. So
no, I do.
Okay, but
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was just on our way to get our puppy. I wanted to make sure. I'm like, is this who I'm supposed to get? Like, because I felt like I'm not gonna get Mango again. Like, he's not gonna come back. He was too good.
Yeah,
he was too much. Like, that was his final dog life. Like, he earned the human, like, to be human. I don't know. It was just my thought process. But on that drive to go get her, it did go off. So I felt like it was just a big comfort and feeling like he was guiding us to her.
Wow.
Like, this is the right dog for you. This isn't me, but this is who you need. So, and she is a dickhead.
Yeah.
But you know what? I love her, but she chews everything.
She's a big goof.
Yes, she's dopey, and
Mango didn't really chew much, did he?
He did a lot when he was a puppy. So
okay. Well, there you go.
I will say she's one. So, but yes, she's just being a turd right now. But overall, I'm like, she's here to probably teach me some patience.
Yeah.
And some other things. But I always remember that first time when I turned and saw the rainbow and the light was on. And I started crying right away.
Yeah.
Because like, in the car, the kids are playing. I'm like, that was the most clear response I've gotten from anybody. Because I tried to talk to our grandpa all the time. Like, damn it, grandpa, talk to me. There's something else I probably won't talk about on here. But I could talk to you in private about. But that has to do with grandpa. But you go ahead and you tell me.
Well, just the
any
only
experience you've kind of had.
Right. The only thing that comes to mind is when we had the spirit box. Yeah. And we were doing we were just kind of doing the, asking questions. You'd said you'd kind of been, maybe hearing something earlier in the day.
Yeah.
I think we had walked around a little bit, the neighborhood.
We walked through the neighborhood. Yeah.
Were we doing a live video or something?
Yeah, we were streaming on TikTok. There was like 6 people watching.
It was just something kind of funny where, we were just like asking the spirit box questions. And then at a certain point, we actually did kind of hear a voice. And it's like, when you hear someone that you like recognize, even if you hear a little bit, you're like, oh, that's that person. Definitely. Yeah. I had that reaction. And it was Anthony, who had died, I'm going to get this year wrong, 2019, I think. We were up in Portland. No,
you lived.
It was 2020, I think.
It was.
No, we moved to Portland in 2019 in the fall.
It was after you came back, I'm pretty sure.
No, we were still up there because I heard the news when we were in Portland, 100%.
Well, when we did the video, you were living down here.
Yes, to clarify, we were living down here. That was just last year when we did this, I think. Maybe it was 2022.
Yeah.
Anyways, when Anthony had died, though, that's what I was trying to say. I think it was 2020 probably. And it was very unexpected, traumatic thing for all friends and everything. And I heard his voice through that spirit box. And it was just a little bit, it was like, hey, like a little, like partial thing of the voice.
Yeah.
People would argue, that's just the fucking radio station flipping through, but it's just kind of wild. Like I wasn't like listening for Anthony, but then all of a sudden I heard a little blip of it and I was like, that
you perked up a little.
Yeah. It's like, I had that reaction. Like I heard him in the other room. So I think I had asked something after that because I was very compelled.
You actually didn't say anything for a while.
Right.
Until
I was kind of
back
like
to the house.
Yeah, I was kind of dumbfounded.
You didn't say anything about it.
Well, no, this was after we got back to the house. When I first heard it. It was flipping through. I was quiet for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
And then I had said, like, is that you, Anthony? Or something like that. I kind of gave you a look like,
we do have
I think we got something here.
Watch that video.
I think we got something here. Yeah. And, from that point, we heard something like, I miss you, dude, or something.
There were, you asked some questions.
It was more clear.
There were some answers. And then on replay, you can hear the same answer multiple times.
Yes.
And you said it sounded like his voice.
Yeah.
And
it's weird. We have a recording of it.
It was kind of one-word answers, but like even
well,
in
I
that
mean,
moment,
I miss you, dude.
Yeah, that
That's
was
4
weird.
words.
Yeah, that was a string of a sentence, and it was. I will say, we played with the spirit box enough. You get a lot of times where there's nothing. You know, it's just skipping through the radio.
Yeah.
And this is just how I feel about it. Sometimes, and then there was a particular voice that kept coming through, not just because you're hitting the same radio station. It was just, it's different. It feels different.
Yeah.
It's separate. And it's distinct because you can just turn one on right now. It probably wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe it if every time I turned it on, it started freaking out and doing stuff.
Yep. Yeah, because the other things, the
heat
sensor.
sensors. Yeah, the heat and cold sensors were going off.
Yep.
Like
as the voice was happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was the cold sensor. Yeah, it was lighting up.
It's crazy
when he would speak. It was really weird. Yeah, you ended it with like, "I miss you too, dude." I remember that.
Yep. Yeah, I think I said, "Anthony, if you're here, I miss you." And then we heard just normal human timing, like a second later, "I miss you too, dude." And it was really clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. What I wanted to ask, though, is what are radio waves on a subatomic scale? We're going to ask ChatGPT about radio waves because the spirit box, basically the idea is we have these radio waves.
Yes.
What the fuck are those? And why could maybe a dead person have the ability to manipulate those and synthesize a voice through them?
Yes.
That's what I want to know. So in nature, radio waves are a type of electromagnetic radiation, which also includes visible light, X-rays, and gamma rays, different frequencies, basically.
Yeah.
Electromagnetic waves are oscillations of electric and magnetic fields that propagate through space. That's very interesting because we know that a lot of areas of high magnetism on the planet, they give us unique feelings. Usually animals have a response to those areas, like the ley lines on Earth. They're basically lines along the Earth where magnetism is at its peak. The Great Pyramid of Giza is right along a ley line, for example. People connect with magnetism already. So the fact that, this spirit box uses those radio waves, that could kind of clue us into a way that maybe they communicate not only with us, but possibly with each other too. Yeah. Maybe they are magnetism,
Didn't you also say we were near the place where he had
fairly close? Fairly close. Yeah, he passed away. He used to work at Standing Stone Brewery, which is now closed.
Yeah.
But prior to the pandemic, when he was alive, he was he worked at the bar there. He did like draft and stuff. So he was just driving home on one of the back roads, which is very close. So, sorry. We can edit that out. I didn't think about that. That's okay. It's all right. We got to edit out Dave, too.
We were just close to it, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, okay, so in a quantum perspective, let's talk about energy levels. The energy of a photon is directly related to its frequency. For radio waves, this energy is very small. Since the energy of individual photons is much lower for radio waves compared to higher frequency electromagnetic waves, interactions at the subatomic scale tend to be less energetic and more subtle. That's interesting because, you can expand on that with this idea of spirits. Maybe they're just very low energy beings, and they can manipulate little things like sometimes,
Lights.
Poltergeists, for example. They're
Flashlights.
famous. Yeah, they're famous for like messing with lights and stuff. Maybe, radio waves are just more accessible to them, and that's why the spirit box works.
I do like it. I hate that people debunk it all the time.
How do they debunk that?
Oh, well, they're just saying that the radio is scanning.
Right.
So you're picking up people just talking. And the reason you get full words sometimes is that there's like a delay when you're scanning. And
in the scan.
Yeah, and sometimes it'll like a full word will peek through.
Right.
But
could just be timing, I guess.
Yeah, but like I said, I should bring it and we should do some like fun stuff with it sometime just to kind of experiment with it, because you can tell the difference. You'd be like, okay, there's nothing going on. Because we would be in here right now. The sensor would not be going off.
No.
There would just be a radio scanning. But then all of a sudden you start getting this, the sensor was going crazy, which means that there is a 5-degree temperature change.
Yep.
Up or down. For it to go off. So, and that the fact that kept happening and kept flashing, it's like when he would talk. It's definitely interesting.
I'm going to ask one more question to chat here, because basically what we were talking about with the wavelength and the frequency, we have electromagnetic radiation, which includes visible light, X-rays, gamma rays, electromagnetic waves, are oscillations of electric and magnetic fields. So what I want to ask is, how do radio signals work for a radio station, specifically with the magnetic and electric fields? And with that answer, we're going to be able to basically look into how a radio station tunes into these things and why a ghost may benefit from the channeling through of different frequencies. So let's see. Oscillator. An oscillator generates a high-frequency carrier wave. This carrier wave is a continuous wave at a specific frequency and is used to carry the information. Yes, so the frequency. Amplitude modulation, frequency modulation. That's AM/FM stuff.
Yeah. Can you ask ChatGPT to debunk the... Gosh, I can't even think of what it's called. I think I'm just hot right now.
Sorry, I can turn on the fan.
No, because that'd be way too loud. And then we'd just be like... Blah, blah, blah. The spirit box. Can you ask them to ask it to debunk the spirit box? We could do that.
Yeah, we can. I got the answer that I was looking for here. Right. So what I wanted was the wave behavior. Thank you again, chat, for your help. So the behavior of the electric and magnetic fields.
Yes.
Essentially, they're perpendicular to each other, these fields, and a radio station makes use of that to generate a frequency that we tune into, when you go to 107 FM or whatever. Yeah. So the idea that a spirit can communicate through all of those frequencies at once, that's kind of interesting. Basically, they're ever present in all of these frequencies, possibly. I like that feeling, A lot of people with near-death experiences, they talk about like they've just kind of become everything. They have this like feeling of acceptance and love, and like it's like they're just like all of a sudden everything is there all the time, and they're seeing their entire life, like it's all just like come together in a way. And, you look at that on a physical level. What I'm trying to do is explain spirits, I guess, in the afterlife in a physical level the best I can. And like the idea of electromagnetic waves here, the ability for a spirit to manipulate that, that maybe that's where that feeling comes from with people having that near-death experience. They're feeling all of that electromagnetic energy course through their consciousness, and they kind of become that somehow. And that is their way of not only connecting with, their loved ones that are still alive, but also possibly people that are also dead, or beings, that are also dead.
Yeah.
Be very cool. So we want chat to...
we wanted them to debunk the spirit box. And this might disappoint.
We definitely prepped it. It did all the scientific research. So now we're going to... A spirit box, also known as a ghost or EVP, is a device used in paranormal investigations to supposedly communicate with spirits or ghosts.
Yeah.
Mechanism of operation, radio scanning. Spirit boxes scan through radio frequencies rapidly, creating a stream of white noise. The device is essentially a radio that scans channels in a way that might produce snippets of audio from various stations.
Yes.
Sound patterns. As the device cycles through frequencies, it can produce a burst of static and random audio snippets. These snippets can be misinterpreted as voices or messages.
That's what I was talking about.
That's the primary argument. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And that's what you hear 90% of the time. Is just like every once in a while a full word will come through, and you can tell it's a radio dude or a DJ or a song.
Yep. And this is maybe the biggest kick in the pants here. Pareidolia, I think is how that's pronounced. This is a psychological phenomenon where people perceive familiar patterns, such as faces or voices, in random stimuli. So that might have been what happened to me. In the case of spirit boxes, users might hear what they interpret as words or sentences amidst the static, but these are often the result of the brain's tendency to find patterns in randomness. If that makes sense.
It does, but I will say we were hearing the same thing, and it was different. Like if we actually watched the video, like you could see. It was weird.
It is possible also, though, that, the audio lined up enough. I thought I heard Anthony. You also thought you heard something. We looked at each other. There was enough of that suggestion, the power of suggestion of like, oh, we both heard something. Yeah. What did you hear? I responded first, then I told you what I thought I heard. So once you heard that, automatically, you're like, oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with this stuff. You can really get carried away with people because the power of suggestion is just like so strong.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that there was something there. Also the temperature reader adding to
that's a weird one.
That happening, and the amount of activity that was happening around it. I thought that was interesting.
Let's see what chat has to say about that. What about...
It's going to say there was like a breeze or something. I don't know.
The temperature being colder via a plus or minus 5 degree sensor.
So specific.
Yeah, this is what you got to do. So what about the temp being colder via a plus or minus 5 degree sensor whilst hearing a distinct prime podcast content here. Whilst hearing a distinct voice.
Watch a guy type into ChatGPT.
Yeah. Okay. The claim that a spirit box or similar device detects a drop in temperature while simultaneously picking up a distinct voice is intriguing. Oh.
Yeah. All right. Got him.
But should be examined critically. Okay. So we're at the next level here.
Yes.
Chat is even like, maybe.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's saying maybe.
That's an anomaly.
Yeah. Here's a breakdown of how such claims can be approached scientifically. Okay. So now it's going to propose we do like actual science on it, which is cool.
Yeah, that's cool. But
science
I'm like,
is cool.
Science. I just like
cool.
the effort of science, though.
It is.
That is a lot of effort.
Properly do like science. It's a nightmare, and also there's like politics involved.
There's too many variables.
Like peer review is such a mess, and like scientists will shit on each other too. A lot of like funding goes towards those types of scientists that shit on each other, and at a certain point, it doesn't actually become about science.
It's who's first.
We see that a lot with fucking. Like pollution, and climate change. It's a mess. And COVID. It's like research related to the vaccine specifically. There's so much influence, like one way or the other way. It's like, who knows? Completely fucked up. Yeah. But anyways, going back to this, science can be good, but the peer review process is such a problem. Electromagnetic fields. Some studies suggest that electromagnetic fields can affect the human perception of environmental phenomena. I like that. That goes back to the idea of the ley lines. Yeah. Or here in Oregon, the Oregon vortex.
Which we should go to, because that would be interesting to bring the spirit box to.
Yep.
And there's a good graveyard over there too, which you have experience with.
If the temperature sensor and spirit... Oh, you talking about Gold Hill?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's right there next to it.
I forgot about that.
It's right there. You got a ghost story.
I do have a ghost story. I don't know. Should we do that now?
Do you want to save it? How much
really
time
care,
have we gone? Because we have a full nother episode probably of the other stuff that I put on there. That's a whole nother subject.
I mean, there's a lot of...
We didn't get to the animal encounters. We will save that for another
time. But we
time.
are at about... we're past an hour now of recording time. We probably, had some BS 5 minutes or so at the beginning.
Wait, how much time are we?
Yeah. We're a little past an hour.
Oh, just a little past an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh,
so,
okay.
Wait, whoa. I'm wrong. We're a little past 100 minutes.
Okay, so that's almost that's an hour and
40 minutes. Yeah.
Hour and 40. So we're almost at 2.
We probably need to put it down. But
probably. Yeah.
I mean, this is interesting. This is something I'm going to keep kind of going back to 100%.
Yeah.
Like just trying to make sense of the idea of us being like I like the idea of containers.
Yeah.
Just this flesh and blood and everything. There's like something inside of us that can also leave while we're alive sometimes, like when we're sleeping, sleep paralysis, all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Possession.
We got a lot going. We got a lot we can go into.
Yeah, demonic possession.
What you're looking for.
Religious experiences.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of all like it all kind of is explained by this idea that we're containers for souls.
Yeah.
For me, and yeah, I want to keep that going, and past lives, near-death experiences. We're going to tap into the universe here. We're going to tap into the muse. We're going to crack some mysteries.
Mm-hmm. I think I burped the most this time.
Yeah, I had a couple quiet ones, but I didn't really
I did some
much.
quiet ones and like at least 2 audible.
Very nice. All right. Cue it up.
Wait, is it?
Good night, sweet prince.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good night, sweet prince.
Nobody fucks with the Jesus.
Good night, sweet prince.
Adios.
Another one in the bag.